Hello, everyone, and a warm welcome to each and every one of you joining us today. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us. My name is Cozy Faber, and I am fortunate to be the Deputy Director of Partnership and Giving at Age Africa. And I am truly excited to host today's session. So today we are gathered here online for a very special occasion. We'll be diving into relationship building between the US and Malawi, an occurrence that even just a few years ago would have been impossible to manage. It really is a spectacular time that we live in and one of true global connectivity. So here's what you can expect in the next 30 minutes or so. We'll start by watching an enlightening 9-minute interview with Lucy Bright Morris. Lucy is an Age Africa alumna who received a scholarship for both her high school and university education. Not only was she a beneficiary of Age Africa, but today she is now among the many who support our current scholars in a very important role as an Age Africa district officer in the Mulanje district. This interview will give us a fantastic foundation for our discussion. Right after the interview, we are incredibly lucky to have both Lucy and the program's coordinator for the Southern region, Irina Manjomo, coming to us live from Malawi, where it is 6 p.m. They will be available to answer any questions you might have and share their unique perspectives on what we're doing. One caveat I'd like to add here is that access to electricity and internet bandwidth in Malawi can be spotty, so it may be that they have to keep their cameras off to reserve power. Of course, we are hoping for the best, but I wanted to give you a heads up on that. But things don't stop there. We also have our esteemed Executive Director, Concepcion Gaxioli, with us today, who will offer her invaluable insights as the conversation unfolds, and she will manage our Q&A session. I want everyone to feel comfortable and engaged throughout our session. So here are a couple housekeeping notes. Please use the chat feature to share your thoughts, ask your questions at any time during the call. Don't hesitate, your input is invaluable to us. And then after the interview, we'll open the floor up for questions. So think about what you might want to ask or discuss further. So that's about it from me for now. Let's kick things off by watching the interview with Lucy. Get ready to be inspired. And thank you once again for being here. Your presence means the world to us.
Yeah, Kwambiri actually. So Lucy, you are an Age Africa alumna.
Yes.
How did you find Age Africa, and what were the circumstances surrounding that time in your life?
Well, let me take you back in the day 2011 when I was selected to go to Mulanje Secondary School to start my secondary education. So I had no idea of what would the situation be, because in that time my mom could not afford to pay my school fees, even to find school supplies as a girl would want to continue her education. But I had that confidence. I really wanted to go to secondary school, despite the fact that my mom had no any amount to pay for school fees. We managed to go to the school. When we reached at Mulanje Secondary School, we were told that for me to stay at the school, I was supposed to pay at least half the amount. That was 8,000 Malawi kwacha, and the half was 4,000. And my mom had no that amount. It reached to a point that it was becoming dark, and my mom said, I must go home, and I don't know how you can do it, but you are staying. So I stayed. Luckily, I found a friend who offered me to sleep on her bed. That friend managed to pay the school fees. We stayed a week without proper following up, because that was the week the 4 months were registering. So the head teacher and the other teachers had no time to follow up who has paid school fees and who has not. So that week I stayed. Come second week, it was the time for me to go back home. They sent me home to bring the school fees so that I can register or I can have a meal card to access food. I went back home and then my mom said, I have failed you. So that time I was like, no, my dream can't just die like that. I worked hard in primary school to go to secondary. And then I remember I spent the whole day crying, saying, I think I have wasted my time in primary school. What is this? And then I gathered some courage to say, let me go back to the school. I went back to the school and then I did not attend the class because I was in fear of getting chased out of the class. And I remember that was Thursday of that second week. I heard that there's a certain organization that would want to support girls. So I had no idea who the teacher, I had no idea of what the organization was about, and I was like, maybe some lucky, I might be of some lucky to be registered on the organization. And I remember it was on the third week, Monday, when we were in class. I just went to the class for the sake of going because my friends were going. So the teacher, the deputy head teacher, that was a female, came in our class and she had a list. I was number 10 of that list to be on Age Africa scholarship. The names were called, my name was there. I was happy, but I wasn't sure what sort of organization is that one. And on Tuesday, we saw a very big car full of suitcases and all that, and we were called on the administration block that these people are the ones who are going to pay for your school fees, and there were officials from Age Africa. I was really happy. I was over the moon saying, me, on Age Africa scholarship, all these materials, school uniform, everything that a girl would need for secondary school. A big suitcase. I was like, wow, I think this is my time to take my studies seriously, because that was an opportunity I have ever imagined that would fall for me, and this is how I find myself on Age Africa scholarship.
How did the scholarship change your life?
The scholarship has changed my life greatly. Since 2011 to 2023, that's from secondary level to university level, Age Africa has been in my life. It has provided scholarship that is paying for my school fees, anything that the school would want financially, supplies, and also not only that, but Age Africa has also exposed me to a life I have never imagined that this is the life people are living out there. For example, during our time, we had retreats going from our home, that's where I'm coming from, to the city, just to see how other people are living their life. Because as a girl growing in the village, I think and I thought that was the life, that was the end of it all. I never knew that in the city there are women driving cars, there are women pursuing different careers, women in big offices. So Age Africa has helped me to let me know that this is not the life you are supposed to live, but there's life after school. So yeah, and of course Age Africa through chats, their program, that's a life skills program. It has really helped me to be the girl who I am today, because in chats we learned a lot from self-awareness, leadership, and sexual reproductive health, and also it tailored me as a girl to have the skills I can use as growing up.
What are the things that you have accomplished that you feel most proud of?
I am very proud of myself because right now I have a degree, and of course I'm a district officer for Age Africa. This is the best that has ever happened to me, because it gives me a room to be in the lives of those girls who are on a scholarship and those who are still in secondary school. I am a role model to them, because if I tell them that you can do it, they get it from I can say an eyewitness, or I can say a direct example, because what they are getting now is exactly what I go through when I was in secondary, even at university. So I'm very happy that I can use what I got from Age Africa Scholarship and all the programming to help the girls to achieve their goals and be independent women in the near future.
How has the scholarship impacted on your community and family?
The scholarship, it might be seem that those who supported me supported a single person, but I'm quite sure that they supported the whole family, my family, because right now I am able to support my two siblings in secondary school, a cousin in secondary school, and not only that, I'm also able to impact the change that I got from Age Africa to my village girls. We have a club where girls meet and discuss issues concerning their life as girls growing up in the village, and also help the girls to know their rights, to know that a girl can make it, a girl can be whatever she wants as long as you have the support and all that. So I think the scholarship is not only for me, but it's for my family and the whole community. And I do believe that 3 years coming, my community will have 3 or 4 girls who will be educated and independent.
If you could write a note straight from your heart directly to the hearts of the people who supported the scholarship that you received, what would you write in that note?
I would say that I'm forever grateful, because it's these people who have transformed my life. When I look back at my life and who I am now, I think it's a great change. It does not only affect me, but it has also affected people who are around me. For example, my parents, my siblings, even I'm a role model to young girls in my community. When they see me, they say, "Can't you be like Lucy?" So it's their help that has transformed me and that has made me to be who I am today.
Wow, what a great interview, Lucy. I think that really laid some nice groundwork for our conversation. Just a minute here, I lost my screen. Hold on, bear with me. All right, here we go. At this point, we are going to introduce Lucy and our programs coordinator, Irina. It is an honor to have you both here with us today. Your insights and experiences are incredibly valuable, and we are all eager to learn more from you during this session. For everyone joining us, I know that you've added some questions into the chat already. Please feel free to add anything else that you might want to hear about, learn about. And now I'm going to hand the question asking over to our very own Executive Director, Concepcion Gaxiola. Concepcion has been a guiding light in our organization, bringing us together to make a meaningful impact. Concepcion, I hand the floor over to you.
Thank you, Cozy. Thanks so much for that lovely introduction. I appreciate you and your light as well that shines in our organization just so well. Lucy, I know that you are one of the first alumni that I met when I first started with Age Africa. So it just brings me such joy just to see you continue with this interview, and it still really warms my heart. So thank you so much for doing this. We have about 12 minutes that we are going to take some questions. I already see that we have one question on the chat box. So please, I encourage all of you to take this opportunity to engage with Lucy and Irina, who are with us today from Malawi. If something from the interview or something you've been thinking about for a while, feel free to use that chat function or feature, excuse me, on the event space. But I do know that Janine is with us today. Thank you, Janine, who is one of our fantastic board members who has been with us for about 5 years now as supporting our organization. And she has the first question, and it's for you, Lucy. What role do traditional authorities play in making our program successful?
All right, thank you so much for this question. So the tradition people play a role in our communities to make this program successful. They are there to, like in Malawi and in most of the communities, girls are married off before the age of 18 or just soon after their first menstruation. So these traditional leaders are there to protect the girl child. They what they do is they encourage people not to force the girls to get married, and also they like it's a fine, you know, when one is found like forcing a girl to get married, they report to the police, or they do make the person pay a fine, so that the practice of forcing the girls to get married or indulging in other activity that can affect their future is minimized.
Thank you. Thanks so much. I know that just traveling through Malawi and I know Irina, we have been on the road together for many, many times. Is there anything that you'd like to add to that response, or to that question, excuse me, and Lucy's response?
Oh, yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah, so normally the traditional authorities, traditional leaders play a vital role when it comes to girl child education. So we have them in various committees at district level, but also in the communities. They have bylaws which are aimed at protecting the girl child. So, for example, if a girl child is married off, the parents, the husband, they are taken to task by these traditional leaders, and they are always in support of our initiatives, attending to our events, supporting us in any way we can, but also they help us with community awareness activities. And we always work hand in hand together. Even during chats, they do send in representatives to represent the community during chat sessions. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Irina. Irina, we have another question as well from Janine, and this is for you. She wants to know, what is your biggest challenge? And you can look at this as either the program coordinator now, or your experience as a former district officer. She'd like to know what your biggest challenge is to managing the CHATS program.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So the biggest challenge to managing the CHATS program has basically been time. So mostly, especially with the community-day secondary schools, they knock off early, and some of the girls have to walk like more than 10 kilometers to and from school. So that alone, most of the times, does affect, because some of the girls would want to rush back home early. So normally that also affects our time during chat sessions. But also another challenge has been a lack of like parental involvement, lack of parental support, because most of the times we had seen some parents not supporting the chat sessions, not supporting their girls to attend chats, until the community leaders now came in to explain to them the importance and the impact that chats has on the girl child. But so far, moving forward, things have been improving each year. To this day, we don't have much of this problem, but previously this was our biggest challenge when it came to chats implementation. For boarding secondary schools, we didn't have much really challenges, because we had all the time, all the girls were at one place. So it was easy for us to implement chats at boarding secondary schools. Thank you. I don't know if Lucy has anything to add.
Yeah, just to add on that issue of longer travels from to and from schools, that the girls also complains mostly about hunger, because in most of the time these girls come to school on empty stomach. So for them to spare an hour to attend chats is a struggle. So they do rush to home so that maybe they can have something to eat.
Yeah, thank you. I do recognize that. I know, having been to some of the schools, I know how, you know, the program will extend itself until close to 4 o'clock, and I know making that walk back home is can be intense. I do want to just say, I know we have a couple of staff members that are with us today. So thank you, Dumisani and Lovemore. I don't know who else is here, but thanks for joining. And Lovemore just wanted to add that traditional leaders in Malawi also support the village child protection communities, or committees, excuse me, and mother support groups as they discharge their child protection duties, including withdrawing married off girls from marriages. So I want to just kind of add that on there as part of the response to that question. Checking to see if anybody else has added anything. Oh, looks like we have one for Lucy. And this is from Eugene. Eugene is one of our newer board members. Welcome, Eugene. We're excited to have you here today. And Lucy, his question to you is, what would life look like without the support you are currently getting or previously received as a scholarship recipient?
All right, thank you so much. Without the support I received from Age Africa, I think by now I would have been married and maybe having 3 children. Because I can imagine the life in the village, a village whereby most of the people do not believe in girl child education, and what they see in a girl is a marriage material. So I believe that the support that I got from Age Africa, by now I wouldn't be what I am today. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucy.
I
Go
also
ahead,
wanted
Irina.
to add on that one. So I started working with Age Africa in 2016, and that was the first time I met Lucy. And I remember it was my second month in the office. She came to tell me that she would just reserve her place at Chancellor College because her parents cannot afford to send her to university because it involved like a lot of money, so they couldn't even afford even transport to school. So she had already written a letter like to withdraw actually. So by this time, I think Age Africa, we had not yet started with our post-secondary education scholarship, but then the executive director was kind enough to support Lucy through university. Without that, no doubt, Lucy wouldn't have been here with us. She would have been married. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Irina. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. We also have a family member. Sorry, Irina, you almost made me cry. I appreciate that. Thank you. We have Jeff Faber, who is Cozy's husband, who is also with us today. Thanks so much for joining us, Jeff. We hope to meet you in person soon. And Lucy, he has a question for you. He'd like to know, how excited are you to be such a beacon of hope for so many other girls in your community?
Thank you so much. I'm excited because when I look at my community and when I look at the girls I'm supporting right now, the girls I'm helping to be in power, I feel like I'm a champion. Because without that, I think I wouldn't have that much confidence to stand up and say, this is what we can do. This is what girls are supposed to go through. So right now, I feel like I'm a champion to the girls and I'm proud of myself. Thank you.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yay. That's a wonderful response. Thank you. Thank you so much. And it looks like Margie has a question for you as well, Lucy. Margie is one of our supporters from Chicago, Illinois, and has been supporting Age Africa for a few years now. She and her friends, they're the class of 63, and Margie, you'll have to excuse me, I am blanking on the wonderful name that you have for your group, and I know that you have the Librarians for Learning. She has a question for you, Lucy, and is, what did you study at university, and did you anticipate the possibility of working for Age Africa?
Thank you so much. At university, I studied education languages. I am a teacher by profession. So with what Age Africa is doing is exactly what is in my career. So it's the education for a girl, but I'm a teacher. So yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. And there's another question, and I'm going to give this one to you, Irina. That's okay. This is also from Janine. She states that not all our girls, meaning Age Africa scholars, will be qualified and attend tertiary education. how are these girls doing after they graduate from secondary school? So maybe our girls in CDSS or those in boarding schools who maybe have participated in chats, but didn't qualify to go to university.
That's a very good question.
It is.
Yeah, so basically we have had quite a lot of such girls. But then Age Africa doesn't work in isolation. We have partners at district level, regional level, even at national level. So what we do is we refer them to some of our partners implementing vocational skills training programs. So we refer them to such type of partners to help transition the girls into that category, since we are focusing on university students at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Janine, for that question. We have time for one more question. If anybody has anything they've been thinking about or maybe too shy to ask right now, we'd love to hear from you. I know I have a question, but I'd love to leave the floor open to whoever is ready to go. Okay, I'm just going to be a little bit mindful of time as well. And I'm going to hand this last question on to you, Lucy, because I know it's something that wasn't mentioned in the video. And I know that, you know, we've talked about this before, or most everybody that's on here, they know this already. But Lucy, I know that you were one of the alumni who sat in a private roundtable in the library at Lucy's School for Girls with Mrs. Obama, Miss Melinda French Gates, and Miss Amal Clooney. How has that experience changed how you see yourself now?
Thank you so much. Meeting with the three incredible women has really changed my life and the way I see myself. Just like another week, I reach a time where I feel like giving up, or I feel like, no, it's too much. But when I remember a words from Miss Michelle Obama, saying that whenever you are at your lowest point and whenever you want to quit, you should look at those people who are looking up at you. So looking at the girls who are in secondary school and those girls who are in my community, I have a reason to stand strong and continue on my journey. So when I look at them, I feel like I have a reason to work hard or to see other ways how I can cope up with those difficult times. So yeah, I feel like meeting them, I've never been the same. I look at myself as I can do it, and yes, I'm doing it right in the community or in the schools we are working with as Age Africa.
All right, wonderful. I'm going to stop us real quick because it looks like our session completed and we might be off event space. Is that correct, Josh?
Let's continue to the close of the session. Thanks.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you. Well, I'm going to go ahead and hand it back over to Cozy and so she can wrap us up. But thank you so much, Irina and Lucy, for joining this evening, for you in the evening. This has been wonderful and just a really great representation of the fantastic work that's taking place on the ground. Thank you.
All right, well, as we draw this incredible session to a close, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you for joining us today. This gathering marks the first of what we hope will be many Chats Worth a Million video calls. We are planning to have the next one in August, so we'll be in touch about when that will be. It's been an honor to bridge the gap between Malawi and the scholars we support with our dedicated supporters and advocates in the US. Your engagement and enthusiasm today have truly made this event special. For those of you who wish to stay connected and keep up with our ongoing efforts, I highly encourage you to follow us on our social media channels. And finally, I cannot emphasize enough how precious and life-changing your donations are. Every contribution, no matter the size, plays a pivotal role in our mission. Together, we're not just supporting scholars, we are investing in a brighter, more promising future. Thank you once again for your time, for your support, and your belief in our cause. Here's to many more Chats Worth a Million and to the continued success of our scholars. Thank you, Josh Jones at EventSpace, for putting this together for us. And thank you, everyone, for being here. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. All right. That was fantastic. Oh my God, I so loved it. I wanted to cry.
I know.